Good morning, all of you. At the outset, let me indicate Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji has been very kind, reflected what I don't deserve, and there could be many caveats. My wife has already registered many of them, and Dr. Abhishek Singhvi by body language has made it too known. But I take his words, they emanate out of sublimity, as motivational. Sri Ajit Doval, National Security Advisor of Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity. His name defines all. Ajit. Sri Ashok P. Hinduja, Chairman Hinduja Group of Companies, India. I am particularly grateful to him for having made my participation in this very momentous event possible. Ashok ji and me have one similarity. We have formidable challenge from our spouses. I recognize presence of Srimati Harsha Hinduja ji, Trustee, Hinduja Foundation. Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji. Saraswati ji may have transgressed from the core area today, but if we would analyze minus what he said about me, then we'll conclude he was speaking out of his soul and for better of humanity. Sri Sunil Kumar Gupta, Secretary to Vice President of India, a batchmate of the Cabinet Secretary, only to buttress the point of his seniority, an alumnus of IIT Kanpur. Message to those who believe in real merit. Excellencies, distinguished guests, I must recognize the presence of some. For reasons I leave to your discretion to figure out. Sri Naveen Jindal, a man of industry. I am focusing on industry, which has dual meanings. A former Union Minister and a sitting member of Lok Sabha. Sri Nitikant Dubey, an extremely volatile and creative member of Lok Sabha. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi ji, an eminent jurist, senior advocate par excellence, with global exposure to law and justice, is one of the very senior members of Parliament presently in Rajya Sabha. I have lost count of the number of times he has been Rajya Sabha. Let me share a small thing. When Dr. Singhvi demitted office last time from Rajya Sabha, I persuaded him to retain his house. It was my supreme confidence the tiger will come back to the sanctuary. He did not disappoint me. Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal, who is subdued, being accompanied by his wife, who has the title of Colonel, and his son, a Wharton product, who has started a management institute. I had the occasion to deliver the convocation address, Masters Union. And when it was declared, soon it will be one of the top 10 in the world, well, I noticed the feet were on the ground. Shri Vikramji Sani, a Padma Awardee, passionate about his commitments, and had the good occasion in my absence to sit on my chair yesterday and manage proceedings of the House. But I feel it was with my approval. I had signed that document. We have in the audience someone whom I always look up to, and I am violating some kind of intellectual property which he possesses. Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, former Foreign Secretary, Kamal Sibbalji, one of the foremost diplomats, and spending time with him is optimal monetization of time. I know Jyotsna Suriji ever since I stepped into hallowed precincts of Parliament in 1989. Her late husband was very kind to me and a dear friend. I must recognize her presence. Ladies and gentlemen in the entire audience, the guest list emanates from Ashok Hinduja ji, except with one variation, and that is Vipul Rumta. Vipul Rumta, I know him since birth. His father has shaped me and mentored me over the years. His father, alumnus of BITS Pilani, and happened to be one of the most distinguished chairmen of the largest public sector in India, Steel Authority of India. Vipul Rumta presently is MD and CEO, SDFC Capital. His focus area, and that is very dear to the heart of the Prime Minister. And Prime Minister has realized his dream by making available 40 million houses to the poor. Vipul's area of involvement is affordable housing. And the Honorable Prime Minister himself tweeted when he participated in one of the events. Ladies and gentlemen, I have had a public life over 4 decades. I do not figure out an event that comes even close to it. This is indeed a profoundly unique moment. The release of I Am, a thoughtful and thought-provoking assimilation by Shri Gopichand P. Hinduja. He celebrated his 84th birthday last fortnight on January 29. I had the good fortune to call him, to greet him, to inquire about his health and well-being, and wished him happy, healthy and long life full of creativity. Friends, this launch taking place in Bharat, the land of Sanatan, the cradle of one of the oldest civilizations and global spiritual center, carries deep significance. The title, when we scratch the surface, which we often do, and which more often than not is avoidable, the title is intriguing, but only till one sails into its pages. And let me buttress my comment. King Charles III of the United Kingdom had appellations for this treatise. Sheikh Nayan bin Mubarak Ali Al Nayan, Minister of Faith and Tolerance in UAE, has glorified it. This treatise, I am confident, will be feast for the inquisitive mind. It will be North Star for spiritually inspired aspirants. And for the reader, he will get an occasion to delve deep into the timeless truth that all world religions share. I commend GP as he is known to his friends. I can claim to be younger. For this visionary masterwork that synthesizes civilization's eternal truths, illuminating how all faiths converge in their quest for spiritual transcendence, conveniently forgotten by all on occasions that require remembrance. The work embodying the essence of Sanatana, and there is departure from the usual interfaith conversations marked by upmanship. Distinguished audience, I am using the word upmanship only to moderate my reaction. Otherwise, interfaith discourse on occasions matches the kind of disruption and disturbance that I have the occasion to see in Temple of Democracy. Friends, I am. These profound words mark the crossroads where Aham either dissolves into collective harmony that is wholesome and soothing, or hardens in ego's captivity, which is more often the case with people who enjoy power, ignoring the fundamental facet that power lies in limitations and not in exercise. Coercion is the poorest form of exercise of power. But then there is other facet emanating from this book. Through self-reflection, ego blooms, flourishes, and through arrogance, it withers. It slides into painful irrelevance of the possessor. The true power emerges, friends, not in I am for myself, as reflected by Pujya Swami Chidananda Saraswati ji. If we take I am with you, imagine a person in distress and someone he looks up to or she looks up to says, I am with you. Can there be greater motivational, inspirational succor than this? And if the person goes beyond, I am for us, it symbolizes spinal leadership quality, elevating consciousness to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, where personal identity transforms into universal connection. A message Bharat imparted to the global fraternity with its G20 motto, one earth, one family, one future. This, as a matter of fact, friends, was reiteration of the civilizational ethos and essence of thousands of years in this country, which was always ground reality. The world is often described as a clash of civilizations. This book soothingly and appropriately presents a convergence of civilizations with focus on unity where others look for division. It espouses timeless civilizational essence of inclusivity, that is Bharat. I seek to quote from Rig Veda, Ano Bhadraya Kartvo Yantu Vishwataya. Let noble thoughts flow from all directions. Since I find presence of diplomats, I think it was Bismarck said, let the winds of change flow. But that, with utmost constraint at my command, was not as large-hearted as what was reflected in Rig Veda. Let noble thoughts flow from all directions. Why only change? This book offers readers an enlightened elixir of wisdom that is always much beyond knowledge. The relevance of I am cannot be overstated. It bears huge contemporaneous relevance. We live in an era where societies are fractured by narratives amplifying differences rather than emphasizing commonalities. This book, in sharp variance with the alarmingly worrisome confrontational global scenario, and the people present here know the gravity of it, the enormity of it, more than I do. This book, in sharp variance with alarmingly worrisome confrontational global scenario, stands as a testament to tolerance, working in togetherness, as indicated by Puja Swamiji, harmony, coexistence, mutual respect, recognizing shared humanity values and commonality of sublimity and spirituality that threads all faiths. The book teaches the reader to nurture a spirit of peaceful, purposeful, sustainable coexistence, which no longer is an option. It is the only way if we have to survive on the planet. And we all are fully cognizant of the enormity and extremity of the problem, and also of the fact there is no planet available other than Mother Earth to cohabit. Friends, at its core, this book is about oneness. Our paths may differ, and they would. There will be different points of view. There will be occasions when the other point of view may be right. My own experience is more often than not, it is right. We have to subscribe in fullness to expression and dialogue. Democracy carries no meaning, no nectar, if expression is compromised, throttled or controlled. And expression by itself has no dimension if there is no dialogue. If there is expression, my way, I am judgmental, I am right. You can never be right. I will never consider even what you have to say. Then dialogue has no meaning. So expression and dialogue are the twins that define what democracy is. And friends, in a sense, the book not only espouses this, but is a pointer to the ultimate goal of Vedic wisdom. The wisdom is encapsulated in the realization of the ultimate reality or the oneness of all creations. Just imagine, why limit to human beings, living beings? The source of creation is one. The habitat is one. And look at where we have come today. For Bharat, diverse and rising, this book holds greater relevance and promise. The state of the nation is encouraging as never before, with hope and possibility all pervasive. Friends, No nation in recent years has seen exponential economic upsurge, phenomenal infrastructure growth, penetrating technological and digital access and adaptation at all levels, at the level of those who are never on the radar, those in the last line. The nation is no longer a nation with potential as it used to be called. Viksit Bharat is not a dream any longer. It is definitely object and achievable to all intents and purposes. It shall be achieved when India celebrates centenary of its independence in 2047, if not earlier. But friends, this wholesome scenario faces forces seeking to exploit and perniciously amplify artificial divides of caste, class, creed, color, culture and cuisine. It is excruciating pain at my level in my position that people with a deep understanding of the dangers that are inherent in such an approach, tied to partisan interests, narrow interests, take to public platforms to espouse these pernicious tendencies. I have no doubt, friends, and this emanates from the book. Belief in faith is voluntary. It must be call of conscience. Faith generated by doctrine or manipulation is pathetic exploitation, the worst form of human exploitation. If it is by way of allurements, temptations, empowerment with this, I have no words, I am holding myself back, this ulterior motive. Imagine if the object is to secure supremacy, primacy over others, subject others to hegemony by demographic prowess, then the concern is extreme. This concern, friends, is a writing on the wall at the moment. In most nations of the world, the book has come not a day too soon. The book is a beacon of guidance to such misguided souls. But for us, for the largest democracy, as I said, home to 1/6 of humanity, with the sterling historical record of inclusivity, sinister forces with strategized inimical stance, even to the idea of Bharat, are unfortunately securing space by way of orchestrated anti-national narratives, non-organic engineered demographic variations, influx of illegal migrants in millions, and alluring conversions, to refer just to some. These are, friends, potentially existential challenges to the philosophy emanating from the book and to the philosophy Bharat has lived for over 5,000 years. In such a scenario, to ensure India's continual developmental journey and drawing from a sense of all faiths, it is our bounden spiritual ordainment to neutralize such viciously divisive misadventures. Bharat's spiritual and cultural heritage is not only our strength and unity's foundation, it is for world stability, harmony and peace. We all will have to work in unison and togetherness to make it impregnable. Friends, this book underscores universal relevance of Bharatiyata virtuosity that is discernible in all faiths. The book reminds preachers and practitioners both. We can respect and appreciate others' truth without alluring conversions. Unity needs no uniformity. Bharati is a perfect example. It exemplifies unity in diversity. In all facets of human behavior, tolerance means not triumph over others. Disruption must yield to dialogue, disturbance to deliberation, conflict to consensus. We find in the world hard, rigid stands being taken. It has been said by our sages, irretrievable confrontational stance is antithetical to the essence of all faiths and smacks of misplaced self-righteousness and judgmental approach. It is crossing all fault lines, getting into the red area. These principles we must adopt. Tolerance, coexistence, dialogue, consensus, because these will free society from the afflictions I have indicated. Friends, this philosophy, the author is cognizant of the fact, is also evidenced in Hinduja Group's vision, fostering inclusivity, sustainability, and cultural understanding beyond being a multi-sector powerhouse. Hinduja Group's contributions transcend conventional CSR. Building a Gurudwara and a crematorium in Iran, showing extraordinary commitment to preserving identity. Recently, I was at the Bhumi Pujan ceremony of Nandlal Nawal Center of Indology at Bharati Vidya Bhavan in New Delhi. And there I presently gathered that the Hinduja Group established the first overseas branch of Bharati Vidya Bhavan in New York. The group bridges the East-West divide through the Dharm Hinduja Indic Research Center at Columbia University, reclaiming our civilization narrative globally. I commend Sri Gopichand P. Hinduja for this remarkable anthology and Sri Ashok Hinduja for enabling its release. I pray one and all, may the message that is in the book resonate with the spiritual seekers, thought leaders, active citizens, and one and all. Jai Hind.